it going? Okay. So I have a humble title here. We're for Cautious Patient. We're focused on engaging patients in patient safety. Patient safety is reducing medical errors. That means misdiagnosis, all kinds of stuff. It also means that we're getting into behavior change, because ultimately when you look at that problem and other problems like it, this is the only thing that will help. And it's really hard, but it also, if you can move the needle on this, you make a really big difference. So, wow. So let's talk about how things go wrong. When you think about these problems, the really, really big ones, right? You have your brain working against you. You have brain stuff that makes you want to do the wrong stuff, because we know what you're supposed to do, right? We know what you need to do in order to get around this stuff, and your brain is working against you. And this is the reason why I think gamification efforts in this area against the really big problems are kind of hopeful, too hopeful, because we know what we're supposed to do, but you guys are probably going to break all the rules tonight on what you're doing. Yes, no, tonight you're going to break the rules on what you're supposed to do to live healthy lives. And so
you're coming.
And me too. I've already gotten started, so you guys are way behind. So as we think about the real problems that we have in healthcare, behavior change is the problem in healthcare. There is no division, right? This is the problem. Everything else is small change. Also, it's a problem that you should feel is personal, because if you can't change, you're going, I can't lose my extra 50 pounds, right? This is why I've been saying lately that the way you need to phrase this is programmer heal thyself, which has become my motto lately. So, I'm going to give you the summary of what really works. You guys ready? This is going to be a very complicated summary. Is this going to be something you guys are going to be caught up on the science of behavior change?
Okay.
I'm going to give you some good information here. And I think you guys should be ready for some really... Not very much works for behavior change in healthcare. It's really, really hard. If you look at things like 12-step programs, things that are known to work, the success rates are closer to 30%, and the critics of those programs suggest that the success rate of those programs is no closer to what we call spontaneous remissions. That means people quitting stuff on their own. Every year, a couple of people just say, I'm going to stop crack because it's just no longer good for me. So why will gamification not work in this area? Right? The answer is so simple. It's because it already has. If you look at a 12-step program, it's got 12 levels, like a video game. It's got badges, like a video game, right? It's already doing it. But the social interactions that you have in a 12-step program is extremely intense. The badges are nice, they're heavy, metal, right? They're not just doing gamification. We've been doing gamification in healthcare, consumer healthcare, for a long time, really intensely. So when you talk about applying gamification to these areas, you're not talking about bringing in gamification, you're talking about bringing in digital gamification. And in many cases, right? In many cases, what we're already doing is a more intense and better way in the real world, and we should not assume that we can make the digital stuff better. Now, if we come in with a digital overlay, right, that might help. What will work? Really getting into our incentives. Now, if you guys look at the behavioral health stuff, that's where the power is. You have to start thinking about how we can actually address motivation in software, and that's really, really hard. But when we look at STIC, how many people have heard of STIC? It basically lets you make contract on yourself in the future. You guys look at it, taught me to floss. Good stuff. So STIC is cool, but like I'm going to make a bargain with myself if I'm going to floss. So either I can floss, I'm going to promise, I'm going to fill in something online that says I floss, or I can get you, Andy, to be the person who reports on me flossing, and I lose $100 if I don't floss. Are you really going to report on me?
Yes.
Friends, right? So it's like this referee notion that humans should be refereeing is wrong. Instead, what we should do is have software be the referee, right? We should have people who, the software should report. So Runkeeper should say, you ran 5 miles. Ergo, you met your goals, right? I think the place where gamification, as traditionally we think about it, is wide open is on the clinician side. Why? Because all of the crappy incentives that we've had for a long time are finally, thank you, being swept away. And now we can start talking about re-engineering the incentives. It's ripe for gamification. If you can change stuff on the code. This is my first attempt at an application for a badging system for clinicians. So I hope you guys enjoy this, but I'm working on it with the VA. I'm working with the VA on their first gamification leaderboard on their errors. This is a joke from that session, so here you go.